What's going on, guys? Scar coming at you with another Magic the Gathering video. Today's video, we diving into a Jeskai deck that I did actually tease yesterday in the community tab of the channel. And essentially what this Jeskai deck is doing is playing a bunch of rune spells and utilizing some of the newer cards from Kaldheim to kind of create a weird infinite mana loop to allow us to play multiple cards from our hand for pretty cheap and produce the mana by playing spells to then keep on playing spells from our hand. It sounds kind of complicated, but it is kind of straightforward when we kind of break down the cards and kind of go overall like exactly how the deck works. If you like the video, guys, hit that like button. It definitely helps out a lot. If you're new here, want to post new videos on the channel, hit that subscribe button. But let's dive into the deck and let's talk about it. All right, so here is the deck. The deck kind of contains 3 key cards that kind of makes the deck kind of work in a way to create like this infinite combo slash like produce a lot of mana to then kind of play any spell that we could possibly draw. There's 3, like I said, 3 cards. We have Runeforge Champion, which essentially it allows us to make all our runes pay 1 colorless mana rather than pay the cost of the rune we cast, which is very good. He allows us to search our library and or graveyard for a rune card, reveal it, add it to our hand. So both very good abilities, helps start the combo. We're also playing a card called Bergi, God of the Storytelling. If you haven't seen her, she is a god that whenever we cast a spell, we add red mana until end of turn. We don't lose that mana as steps and phases end, so essentially, you know, we could play main phase 1, play a spell, gain red mana, and kind of continue all the way to the end of our turn if we wanted to play something else. So these 2 cards kind of help out. Essentially, what you can kind of notice is this red mana now can play any of our rune spells that we play, and all our rune spells are going to be drawing cards. So essentially, as long as we keep on drawing into runes, we can infinitely kind of play new runes onto the battlefield. Then we also combine it with a card called Goldspan Dragon. New card if you haven't played against it. It's a 5 mana 4/4 dragon, flying haster. Whenever he attacks or becomes target of a spell, create a treasure token. Which, if you think about it, all these spells in our kind of like our bottom of our deck are essentially, you know, target creature. So essentially, we can make our Goldspan Dragon now create mana every time we target them with a rune spell or a pump spell or something like that. So yet again, another spell that's making us produce a lot of mana. And especially if we have Runeforge Champion out, all our runes cost 1 colorless. We're producing 2, so we're kind of producing that 1 extra mana. So we actually have open mana to then kind of play even more spells. We also have Showdown of the Scalds, which the first ability that helps us dig really deep by exiling top 4 cards of our library until end of next turn. We may play those cards, so allowing us to kind of dig a little bit deeper into our deck to then get that momentum to kind of start going off. And the second and third chapters are actually also really good. The idea is whenever we cast a spell with this turn, we get to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature we control. So essentially, now that, you know, we can play any of our pump spells and our rune spells, we can essentially now pump up our creatures, making them that much tougher to deal with. You know, you can get like a 10/10 Goldspan Dragon, you know, and then swing in for 10 damage. You know, combine that with something like Rune of Sustenance. Now you're getting 10/10 Lifelinker. We also have 1 Rune of Flight. We have 4 copies as well of Rune of Speed, which also pumps up the power of our creatures and gives them haste. But I mean, really, it's the ability there just to kind of pump them up. And especially with Runeforge Champion, these all do cost 1 less, so, you know, and becomes 1 colorless. So these essentially, we can have ways of playing them very, very cheap. We also have a bunch of other pump spells like Defiant Strike, which allows us to give target creature +1/+0 and draw a card. We have Fight as 1, which gives our creatures indestructible, non-human and human creatures. We have Sergi's Shelter, just to give target creature protection. We have Shepherd of the Flock, which isn't, it's an interesting one, but the idea here is that we can tap 1 and we can actually bounce a permanent back to its owner's hand. So it's definitely very good. You may be like, well, what would you do there? But you could always take like a card, maybe you want to dig a little bit deeper, a little bit further. You can bounce like back 1 of your runes. You can bounce back a Showdown of the Scalds if you don't want to lose it and maybe dig a little bit deeper. There's definitely interesting ways that you can actually kind of, you know, play this combo. And then we also play Coswell's Fury, which is a card here that we can pay 3 mana. We can sacrifice our creature and then we can throw that creature at our opponent for, you know, whatever its power is. So essentially, it's like a fling in the deck, which is definitely good. We only play 1 copy of it. You know, you could, if this is like a 10/10, you can then hit him for 10 and then throw it at your opponent for 10. Definitely good there. And then the mana base is pretty straightforward. It's like Jeskai mana base. We do play 1 plains, 4 pathways of the blue and white. We play 4 pathways of the blue and red, 4 pathways of the red and white. We play 3 Triumphs, 3 Temples of Triumphs, and then 3 Ragran Triumphs. We play a splash of blue mana just in case we don't draw the Runeforge champion, because Rune of Flight is 1 blue mana, but essentially you can play Boros for the most part and not really worry about getting blue on the battlefield if you have a Runeforge champion out. But it's there just in case we really need the blue. If you get 1 Triumph out, you're fine. You can play any card, but for the most part, you can play Boros lands. And like I said, this deck is very interesting when it works. It works pretty effectively. Your opponent's just kind of sitting there watching you kind of go off, drawing cards and pumping up creatures. With that being said, guys, let's dive into some games, kind of see how we do. All right, we're on the play. It's an okay hand. We have 3 lands technically, so I think I'm going to keep. Hopefully we draw into one of our good cards. We can hopefully scry and see. Nah, I don't want that. In the worst case scenario, we could play Rune of the Flock and just get it out on the battlefield, so we have a 3-1. Just put pressure on our opponent. Which is a possibility, just because we don't really have anything to deal. So if they don't want to do anything here, we can pressure them. Playing Orzhov. Orzhov life gain? Interesting. Interesting. Don't have enough red mana just yet to kill both creatures. So let's see what happens here. Do they block? They don't. Okay. Yeah, let's end turn. They're gonna attack us, of course. They're more than likely playing clerics. I have a weird feeling they're playing like something like Veto. That's fine. Sure. They're playing a lot of their 1/1s. They're probably gonna be smart and leave open mana. I mean, the game's telling me I should play a Shatter Soul Smash in against our opponent here, which I think I'll do. I'll force them to sacrifice. I'm gonna pay the 3 life as much as I probably shouldn't. All right, our opponent allowed that to happen, which is interesting. Interesting. Next turn, we can play Showdown of the Scalds and dig a little bit deeper, and hopefully start going off with our combo a little bit. I mean, we are a little behind. I mean, I did pay 3 life. Maybe they have Call of the Death Dweller. Well, Runeforge Champion's good here. Let's search my library. Grab that. See what they do here. Do they block? They don't block. Interesting. I find it interesting when an opponent decides not to block. And then we'll just play this on our champion. We'll give him lifelink. So if our opponent decides to want to attack in, we have the life. We'll play a red mana. Play for the speed. We'll dig a little bit deeper. I mean, they may have a spell to kill our creature, so that's the one downfall here. But if they don't, It's okay. All right, another Shepherd of the Flock. The only thing is I know that the speaker has Menace, Righteous Valkyrie. Fine. If our opponent's smart, they would just attack it with their 5/5 and their speaker, because we can't block the speaker. They don't attack though. Interesting. Yet again, it's always interesting when an opponent doesn't, when they kind of like balk at doing something. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll keep the rune up top. Yeah, I guess I'll give it another additional one. So I gain 4 life, I go up to 15. They can't kill me next turn based on if they attack all in. So I think I'm okay with that. Next time we play Bergie, and then we can actually start producing a lot of mana. All right, gain some life, fine. I don't think they should have attacked in if I was them, because they gave up their protection. All right, let's play this as the blue source, as like the 1 blue source. Let's get rid of that. Play Bergie because we'll lose her if we don't play her. We'll rune a speed here for the 1 colorless. Not. We'll put on Bergie. We'll draw a card, which is another Showdown of the Scalds. We will then play a rune a speed on Bergie, allowing us to draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on her. Draw a card. We have 1 red mana open here. We could play... We'll play the Bone Crusher. Other side. We'll kill off... yeah, we'll kill off this. Put a counter on Bergie. Can't do anything with the red mana, so we'll attack in for 13. We're going to gain 6 back. They can only swing in for the maximum of 9 so far. They don't have any haste. And we'll say go. We lose Temple, which is not a big deal. Next time we can play another Showdown of the Scalds. Get a little bit deeper, get more runes. We'll see how aggressive our opponent decides to attack now. The other thing that's interesting that I didn't mention before, the fact that we're putting +1/+1 counters on our creatures, it makes our creatures hard to be killed off by Heartless Act, because it can't get rid of +1/+1 counters. Okay, that's fine. I think we're able to gain more than they can deal almost, especially next turn. And I'm not sure why our opponent gave up, but they did. But okay, game 1 is us. Our opponent goes first. Our hand is okay. We have lands that we can play into play tap, so I may do that. Unless our opponent's playing something like aggressive, which is gonna kind of stink, but we'll keep. Yet again, we can play a Shepherd of the Flock. I would like a creature other than Shepherd of the Flock, to be quite honest, but what I put underneath? Was that a tapped or untapped? It was a fight spell. Alright, so our opponent's playing some sort of rampy style deck, so what is gonna be good in this situation? I think I'm gonna just play another Triome. If they attack him for 2, they attack him for 2. Bergie's very good. Yep. All right, so they're ramping up. Now the idea here is the deck a deck that's going to ramp up into a lot of spells, or is it ramping up into like an Ugin? That is the real card here. Like what are they ramping into? The only thing is they do play black, so there is a possibility that they could have a spell that kills our creature. Pass the blockers, pass the damage. So it's gonna be interesting if they decide to target our Bergie. I mean, I could play. I could just play Shepherd out. Let's play Bergie. Let's force them to maybe go around the strategy of playing maybe spells. If they decide to kill Bergie, they kill Bergie, but if not, they don't, which is gonna be good for us. All right, bind in the old gods. Nice. And they foretell a card, which could be a poison in the cup. I guess we'll play you for blue. Play you, and we'll play Runa Speed, and we'll hitting you for 4. We'll draw a card. They're gonna be able to produce a lot of mana. That is the thing. If they want to go ahead and kill it, they can go. It's fine. The only problem is now we're kind of down a creature, but we can dig and find a creature. They're not really, it doesn't look like they're playing spells that are going to counter, so that's good. What does that do? Whenever a permanent you control becomes target of a spell or ability, you may draw a card. Interesting. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that card be played, to be quite honest. What can I do here? They have a lot of mana. You're just gonna have Death Touch. I can play Showdown. Dig a little bit. I think we play Showdown and dig. It's the only thing I can really do in this situation, I think. I mean, it's not very good when you don't draw. You don't draw a creature out of that. And let's just hope they don't have something that's gonna like hit me really hard. Emergent Ultimatum. Yeah, I knew they were gonna play a big spell. I mean, it's all bad because they're just gonna get 2 turns and be able to kill us. So we're on the play. We actually have really good lands, I think, here, so I'm gonna keep. I also do sometimes think this is a deck that it does benefit from playing on the play, especially in best of 1. We'll say go. I could have played a shepherd, but I feel like they're playing red, so they probably have some sort of whatchamacallit here, so we're not gonna mess around with that. We're gonna go my turn. Play Bergie. Play a Bergie. Hopefully draw an untapped land. That would be like clutch here, just because that will allow us to be able to play more. Another riddle form. Okay. Okay. Has flying. See, the thing is, I know they have like a shock or something because there was a pause. Sweet untapped land. We'll add a for white. You. Library. We'll get Rune of Flight. This allows us to then fly. Rune of Speed. Put it on Runeforge Champion. Draw a card. Swing in for 3. Make him have another Frostbite. Dragon's fine. They probably have like an opt. Crash through. That's a card. We'll play Triome. Play the rune for 1 colorless. Doesn't look like I have any spell that's gonna make us not be able to play it. I guess I'll play a Rune of Flight. And then I guess we'll Defiant Strike it. And leave 1 colorless open. Gain 4 life. Say go. We have a lot of shepherds. This is one of the situations where I wish we kind of drew a Scald. I mean, our opponent can hit us for 9. So. Well, I'm not going to let you get the advantage, so you're going to lose your... You're going to lose your Brazen Borrower. I don't live next turn at all in any sort of way. Unless they don't have something here. So I guess I see what they do here. I mean, they have a spell because they keep on hesitating with it. If they have it, I mean, they might as well play the Frostbite. Oh, man. It stinks. Bergie was the key to get that deck going. I probably should have kept it open. We're on the play. 2 lands. It's not great, but I don't hate our hand, so I am gonna keep. Hopefully we draw into it. I mean, worst case scenario, we can actually play runes out onto permanents and just draw a card. They are playing Dorian of some sort, so it's gonna be annoying, I guess, to keep things. Once they're tapped. You know, I don't have any white mana, I just realized. I should have played that on white. Well, that's unfortunate. All that to play an egg. Interesting. Yeah, we may get... Man, if I don't draw white mana, it's gonna stink. I should have paid attention to my pathways. It's my fault. We're just gonna do it to draw a card. White mana? No. Cards that require white mana. Oof. My land has haste though. And +1/+0. Alright, I'm just gonna get out of here because I'm not drawing mana. Oh man. When you mess up, you mess up. We're on the play. I like this because we have 4 lands technically. So yeah, we'll keep this one. A lot of tap lands though. So we'll play that. I don't need another smash in, so we'll put that in the bottom. Interesting. Tough to say. Untap land, it's great. Play the Triome. Possibly keep the smash-ins. Haven't been able to play the gold span out yet. Haven't been able to draw it. We do play 4 copies. You speak it into existence, it happens, I guess, right? Alright, let's see if they have any sort of, like, kill spell. Yeah, we'll get the lifelink one. I think lifelink's gonna be really big here because red is gonna be... That's perfectly fine. If they want to go ahead and do it, they can do that. I feel like it's good for them to do something like that. We'll play a smash in to play tapped, and we'll say go. If we draw an untapped land, oh, Goldspan Dragon, so good. Yeah, it's fine. My turn. Not an untapped land. I think we just force... I think we pay the 3. Let's just get Goldspan Dragon out. Let's just get that engine going. Because if our opponent decides to target it, we can give it protection. We can start giving it stuff. Okay. I mean, I'll just auto pay it so we gain 2 mana. We gain 4 mana anyway. We have +1/+1 and flying. It has indestructible. I kind of feel bad because I think someone's playing with a starter deck. We'll play Showdown of the Scalds. Dig a little bit deeper. I mean, I have all the mana in the world. I'm gonna wait until next turn to really play anything though, because I think I can go off and create a lot of mana. I mean, worst case scenario, I just bounce our own. I bounce my own Goldspan Dragon back. All right, that's fine. Well, that's not fair. Oh, I feel so bad right now. Yeah, I mean, I'll just keep on playing stuff. I feel like they'll eventually get the hint. Oh my god, and Bergie. Do I have enough? I mean, I have enough to play the rest of the Goldspan Dragons in my hand, so I think I'm okay. We're on the play. Hand is... it's okay. So, I'll keep. And I'm gonna play a Smash In to play tapped. I think our opponent mulliganed once. So, I don't know if it's a trickery deck or if it's... what kind of deck it is. It's a green deck. Alright, that gives me hope that it's not a trickery deck. Alright. Elves. Elves it is. I think I play Bergie here. Unless they have a kill... they could have a kill spell. But I think Bergie was the right play. Because I feel like they're going to want to play Elves. I did discard a card. I'll get rid of that. Alright, Goldspan Dragon is a card. We'll give Bergie Flight. Make mana. Draw a card. We'll Bone Crusher here. I'll play a Rune. No, not play a Rune. Let's say go. I'm not going to use the mana. We'll see. We'll leave up protection just in case they decide to attack the Bergie. Alright, we'll get rid of the Shepherd. Alright. Love it when people are aggressive. We'll swing it for 7. We'll play a Bone Crusher by Autopaying. We don't have a hand, so now they can't try to make us discard. Alright. We got Elves. It's fine. We can still have for 7 in the air. Okay. No. That's a playable hand. Yeah, we'll drop a Shatter Skull, but that's definitely more playable. A lot of tap lanes, but it's okay. And of course we draw. We put one on the bottom and we somehow draw a second Shatter Skull. SMH sometimes the shuffler. Our opponent's like analyzing our mana. No, we need sustenance in our deck. Three mana. Alright, playing Shrines. Alright, can I go off against Shrines? Also, there's a Showdown of the Skalds, which would have been good last game. I don't think they can kill us or kill Bergie, so I think we play. That's fine. We'll be okay, I think. Awesome. We'll keep the fight as one open because they're going to want to probably target a creature of ours. End turn. Pass. See what happens here. If they add black, they could be an extinction event because these are both 3, which would be terrible, but they're adding white. And that's fine. They want to get rid of one of our things. The rune just gives +1/+0 in haste. It doesn't do anything else. It's fine. We'll attack in at their Planeswalker. Play Showdown of the Skalds. Hopefully dig in deep enough to get into what we want to do here. And we will say go. Add in more green. I don't know what green's going to do for them. Maybe another Planeswalker. Lotus Cobra. Alright, filters their mana. They don't have red mana, so they can't, right? Oh, it requires one colorless. That's fine. Let's see what they do. You have another one. I'll make you sacrifice. I'll make you throw 2 lands away. That's fine. I feel like you're not going to do a lot, are you? I'll take the 2 damage. Second Showdown is really good. I'll just dig a little bit deeper. Another Bergie's great. Blue mana. So they got their Shrine to draw a bunch of cards. Red mana. Sanctum of All. Awesome. Doesn't do much for them now, does it? My turn. Alright, we'll play New Burgi. We'll play Bone Crushy. Yeah, we'll swing in for 8. We'll play one of these as a tap land. And we'll say go. All right, did you draw your black one? I mean, you're not gonna be able to kill the Bone Crusher. We'll bring back the creature. We'll let you resolve that. My turn. Burgi. Shepherd. You're really going hard, aren't you? Alright, let you resolve that one. I get 2 mana. And we are back. So, I mean, overall, the deck was kind of hit or miss in certain situations. I think it's kind of built more so against the meta as a whole, rather than kind of like the miscellaneous decks that we may pop up against in kind of like more of a, you know, unranked play in that sense. But I think I like when the deck works, it really does work. And I think it may require some tweaking a little bit, just because I think in a best of 1 matchup, it's not really built currently for that. I do have cards in the sideboard that you could always add in and swap in and out depending on what you think will work and what won't work. But what the deck does contain, I think, is kind of cool. I like the idea that when it does like go off and starts doing big damage to your opponent, it's pretty crazy. I like the idea of Goldspan Dragon, adding runes to it and just making it produce mana every single time you target it is kind of a cool little mechanism there. Burgi's good in the sense that she just produces mana, and then Runeforge Champion allowing us to make all our runes cost colorless instead of the actual colored mana, I think is a good combination as well. With that being said, guys, if you like the video, hit that like button. It definitely helps out a lot. If you're new here, want to post new videos on the channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.